Something buyers who already own a home ask me is if they should buy a bigger home. Since the pandemic, couples and families have been needing more space. While many have gone back to the office and gym, some have the flexibility of working out and working from home still. Maybe your family has grown or you're considering a parent living with you, and this has you thinking if you should buy a bigger home. Stay tuned until the end. I'll discuss some reasons you may want to consider if you're thinking of buying a bigger house. Whether you're welcoming a new child or your mom or dad is coming to live with you, growing families need more space. Let's say you bought your first home, which was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home at 1,400 square feet as a couple. At the time, you thought, how are we ever going to fill this space? And bam, here comes baby number 1. Wonderful news! You are all excited to decorate the nursery and bring home your precious baby boy. Then 3 years later, you brought home that rambunctious baby girl. No problem. They can share a room. After all, you decorated in gender neutral colors, right? Well, they share a room for 4 years, and you still have that third room as the office / guest room / laundry and everything else room. And now guess who's coming to dinner? I mean, live with you, Mom. This home has served you well the past 8 years, but yes, now is a good time to buy a bigger home. Even if you don't have a parent coming to live with you, another reason to consider moving when you have young children is the schools they'll be attending. Sometimes when you buy your first home, you're not thinking about the schools because maybe you don't have kids yet. Once you do, schools, their rankings, parent participation, and teacher retention become important to you. I know they were to us. And by the way, that scenario was us. Okay, so this scenario isn't you? Well, maybe you bought a 1-bedroom condo, it was your first home, and now you want more space to work from home, but you're trying to figure out how to afford it in Sacramento's real estate market. You want easy access to Midtown because of the great restaurants, the things to do, and you've been hearing about this Airbnb that people are doing with their homes, either the whole home or a space in the home. And now you think you might want to do that. You're thinking the rent will help offset the mortgage. That's also a good reason to consider buying a bigger home. Cities like Sacramento are allowing accessory dwelling units, or ADUs as we call them, and short-term rentals to help with housing demand and affordability. And there could be tax advantages, so you'll want to talk to a tax advisor. During the pandemic, almost all of us worked from home, and guess what? Employers saw it could work and are continuing to allow telecommuting. This also saves on gas, parking, and time. And they saw that employees were more productive and happier. The extra savings could be put towards a home with more bedrooms instead of using the dining table or a corner in your main bedroom as an office. Yes, another reason to consider buying a bigger home. Another reason could be that you want more outdoor space. Maybe you've been thinking about adding a swimming pool, an outdoor kitchen, or a raised garden bed, or all three, and you just don't have the space for it now. Or maybe you want to buy that boat or RV that you've always wanted and need a place to store them. Sometimes it could cost you less to find a house with all these versus paying the construction costs to put these in yourself. You can very well find a house with a pool and an RV space, then all you would need to do is add those raised garden beds. Now, all the prior reasons are important, but none of them mean anything if you don't have the funds for a down payment or ability to pay cash for a bigger house. So you'll want to take a look at the equity in your current house, and most homeowners do have equity these days. Equity is the savings in your home from what the current value is to what you owe on it. That equity can be put towards the purchase of a bigger house. Let's look at an example. Let's say you bought that 3-bedroom home in Greenhaven 3 years ago for $440,000, and now you want a 4-bedroom home with a pool and RV parking. When you bought your home, you put 5% down, and you've been paying on it for 3 years. Over that time, you would have paid approximately $18,000 towards the balance, we call that the principal, and you owe $400,000. Now you sell that house for around $620,000. In 3 years, you had a net equity gain of $220,000. You find that 4-bedroom house with sparkling pool and space for that boat. The home is $660,000 and you put $200,000 down. Your new principal and interest payment is $2648 compared to $2025. That's reasonable. Oh, and I mean dollars, $2,648 and $2,025. That's still reasonable considering your savings from not commuting and you got a raise over those 3 years, or maybe you got a raise in each of those 3 years. And now you can take your boat out on the Sacramento River, launching it from Garcia Bend, also in Greenhaven. You can do this after work since you won't be spending all that time in rush hour traffic. If you have a scenario something like this or something different and you'd like to play around with a mortgage calculator, I'll leave a link in the description below. Everyone's situation is different. A real estate advisor like me can help you assess if it's a good time to buy a bigger house. It really boils down to your monthly budget and payment. I'm in Sacramento, but these reasons also apply to other cities around the U.S. I hope this information was helpful to you. Let me know what other real estate questions you have, and please like and subscribe to my channel. This is Kimberly with Guide Real Estate.